Good day, traders. This is Richard. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Rueb, broadcasting live from downtown Summerlin. We're going to talk about the intricacies of trader training, the intricacies which guide the trader toward superior performance. Now, there are a million traders. In 1996, when the World Wide Web was established, traders were working on the floor in New York City and Chicago in the pits, and they'd call out trades, and the brokers would take the trades. And the traders would take the trades in response to the brokers telling them they wanted them, and it was working just fine. However, if you wanted to trade, you had to call your broker and say, get me in this, or I want to buy some of that. And that's the way it all worked before the World Wide Web. But when the World Wide Web came out in 1996, by 1999, there was a whole new industry of active traders, direct access traders like you and me. And there's only 3 years. And they moved from the floor of the stock exchange and the futures exchange in Chicago into our living rooms, our offices at home. And we had laptop computers or desktop computers, and we got access to the exchange that nobody ever had before 1996, except the pros. And during this same period, the cost of transactions diminished from $300 to $30, and then down to $10, then down to $5, and then it went back up to $8 or $9 for a 100 lot. Bunch of stocks. Hardly anybody traded futures until probably 2001, when the pattern day trader rule was established by the stock exchange, and you had to have $25,000 in an account to trade actively stocks, but you could trade futures like they always traded futures. And a lot of people migrated from stocks to futures. I was one of them. I migrated in 2001, and I started trading in 1998. So I've been concentrating on the highlights of trading for the last few months. Now we're going to start thinking about the nitpicking little bitty pieces that make you a star, that you have to know about the market to make it right. It's like how to study to be a brain surgeon, or how to study between how to study to be a cardiac surgeon, or how to become a structural engineer, how to study to become a structural engineer so you could build a bridge, let's say the Golden Gate Bridge, and certify that it would never fall down. You got to be pretty good. And let's say you want to build a 70-story building like the Trump Tower in downtown Manhattan. You got to be a pretty good structural engineer. You got to know how to start. You know how to work it. Then you have to know how to finish it. And there's intricacies coming out your ears that you have to know about to be able to achieve that objective. Trading is the same way. To become a star, like Carroll Shelby did in the Le Mans back before he ever tried to help Henry Ford II win a race, he had already won the Grand Prix 2 or 3 times. That's where Carroll Shelby comes from racing. He became a race car manufacturer. He became a builder of race cars and did it for Ford. But before that, before his health changed, he was a racer, and he was good at it. He was a pro, like Michael Jordan and all of the great athletes that become famous because they can make the hoop, hit a home run consistently 3 times out of 5 at bat. They're stars. Well, if you want to make a lot of money at trading, you must become a star. Now, you can play ball and make a little bit of money, but to become a star, you've got to know the intricacies. And that's what I'm going to teach in this presentation. So let's get started. Okay, I've got a question for you. And then you think about the answer to the question I ask. The answer is coming, but I want to hear from you. I'm not going to show you my answer until at least you try to answer it. There's the answer. Hey, the answer was answer. So that's the way it's going to go. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to think about it. And you're going to think about that answer. And here's the answer. These are a little bit out of sequence. I knew they'd be out of sequence. That's why I'm testing them now. But next time you see this, I'm going to have the questions and the answers in there. And there's going to be between 30 and 70. And we're going to watch it more than once. And I'm going to put up some charts, and we're going to try to learn how to do this stuff so that you can make some money at it. But you can't expect to make money at it until you learn how to do it right. And the course is 1 year long, and there's 4 phases. Let's look at it as trimester in a summer school, because it's a year-long course at about an hour a day classroom. I talk to you an hour every day at the same time, but you've got to put another 2 hours a day in along with my hour. So you've got to invest at least 3 hours a day for a year, 365 days to get it. And then you'll have what you need to know. You'll know what you need to know, but you will not know it all in a year. It will take you another year of the same discipline you spent the first year. Whether you get more instruction or not is up to you. But you will have the notes and the texts and the guidelines provided to you during that first year to go over and over and over and over, in addition to having all the videos of all the hour-long presentations that I've provided. And if you watch them repeatedly for another year, at the end of that second year, you should be able to start trading and be pretty doggone consistently with it. But if you try to trade big money or even little money before, it's like getting out on the freeway at 70 miles an hour before you've learned how to drive a car. And when you learn how to drive a car, you're in a parking lot and you got cones out there and there's no other cars to hit. You got a driver education person sitting next to you, guiding you through the process. And then after she's spent time with you for weeks, now they might give you a driver's license. They don't want you to go out on the road and killing anybody. They want you to drive responsibly. We want you to trade responsibly. So that word up there is really, really important. You're going to see a lot of that. For every question we ask, for every answer you give, you're going to need to think about it. And I don't want you to worry about whether you're right or wrong with the answer. Just come up with something that you think could be the answer until you know it. And when you see this test, if you will, a couple of 3 times with me, and then a couple of 3 times with you, and maybe somebody who you've recruited to teach or help you accomplish your objectives, then you'll get it. You'll get more and more every time you go over it. So find somebody else to teach and you'll learn it better. So think about all this material that I've just given you in the last 3 or 4 minutes and make it worth your time. And like I said, the next time you see this, you will actually see some words up here and some charts, and it'll be very beneficial to your training process. This is the sequence. This is the system. This is the regimen that you'll be applying. You sick of it? Would you like to see some real questions and answers? Okay, the next time you watch this slideshow, there will be. Right now we've got 36 of 57. We got a few more here. Let's see what else we got. Another question, another think, another pause, another answer, another question, another think, another pause, another answer, another question. All right, so that's going to be it. Just 1 second. Thank you for your attention. 8 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. I will teach you how to use my right-hand trade to take $500 a day to keep the job away in just 1 hour a day while you watch us trade live right before your eyes.